movie Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews sings a funny song to delight children. The song has words like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. In today's episode, we discuss a recent discovery made by scientists that explains why is it that gorillas and apes make high-pitched sounds like whereas human beings like you and I, we can say complex words like
astronomically expensive and humongously possible.
You're listening to What's New Today, a kids and family podcast where we discuss current events shaping our world. This is your host Sangeetha from India. Every Monday and Friday on this show, I am joined by curious children from anywhere in the world. And today on this show, joining me is...
Hi, I'm Devansh and I'm 8 years old. I live in Kolkata in India. I go to Lakshmipad Singhania Academy School.
Welcome to this show, Devansh. Would you like to tell our listeners 3 things about yourself?
Yeah, I like to read books in my spare time. I want to become a great chess player and that's my ambition. And I like to make Lego very much.
You like to build large structures with Legos. Wow. All right. Someday, please do take photographs of these and share it. So, Devansh, shall we start this episode with a rapid fire of the sounds that animals make?
Yeah, I love that.
All right. So, I'm going to play some sounds and I'd like you to tell me which animal makes this sound. Okay?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Cat. Cow. Hen. Pig. I don't know.
That's a donkey.
What?
Hee-hawing of a donkey.
Yeah, the sound was really loud, so I was like something like the roar of a lion and the sound of a pig combined or something like that.
The donkey's hee-haw is the combination of the roar of a lion and the grunt of a pig.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I heard the sound.
So recently in the journal called Science, a very interesting study of human beings and primates was published. So there is a scientist called Takeshi Nishimura. He's Japanese. He did a very interesting research where he studied 43 types of primates. Primates are the gorilla, chimpanzees, the ones that humans are closely related to.
Like when we started from chimpanzees in all that cycle, all the mammals who have been present are called primates. Yeah.
So he wrote about the difference between what human beings have in our vocal cords versus what all the other primates have in their vocal cords. And he found one key difference. Devansh, do you want to speak about what that difference is?
The 43 different species of primates they studied had vocal membranes. The humans didn't have them. The vocal membranes helped the other primates to make very loud and resonant screeching cries.
So because we all don't have that voice membranes or the vocal membranes, we speak a little and at a slightly lower pitch. So
Yeah, we don't always screech. We can only screech when we put extreme amounts of pressure on our voice. Like when we scream or when we cry.
So then, Devansh, let's both try and say this one sentence in a really shrill voice. Shall we both try this?
Okay.
I love this podcast because it's funny and witty. Can you say that loudly and shrilly?
I love this podcast because it is funny and what was the last one? Witty.
Let me give this a shot too.
Okay.
I love this podcast because it's funny and witty. Let's continue a very short, completely random conversation. Let's both see whether we can continue a conversation in a loud and a shrill voice. Shall we? Hello, Devansh. How are you?
I am fine.
Did you go to school today?
No, I didn't.
Devansh, what is your most favorite game and can you tell me why?
My most favorite game is chess because
So you've
after some sentences I lose my pitch.
Yeah. So
That's
speaking
the
in a
basic thing.
shrill voice for an extended period of time is very
Yeah,
difficult.
because you can only sound shrill for a limited time or the vocal cords will just burst.
So maintaining a slow and steady flow of language in a very high and a shrill sounded pitch is very difficult. And that is perhaps the key as to why human beings speak multiple different languages versus all that you hear howler monkeys and gorillas and apes do
Yeah.
is to scream and screech at each other when they're like hanging down and throwing bananas and playing around in the forest. If you're listening to this, you're welcome to pause for 1 minute. And why don't you try and say this sentence in a very loud and shrill voice 2 or 3 times and see whether you're able to do it? I love this podcast because it's funny and witty. Try saying this 3 times and see if you're able to continue. So now coming down to simple science from our expert third grader Devansh, can you try and explain to all of us how do we make any sounds, either humans or apes and other primates?
Can I say first about humans? Because I basically don't know about other primates. So humans have vocal cords. Everyone knows that, right? And when we push out air from our lungs, those vocal folds open and close. Then they create a vibrating sounds which come out from our mouth in form of sound waves that we transform into building blocks of spoken language.
We spoke about one additional membrane that apes have, right? Which are the vocal membranes. How does that make their voice more shrill?
Because the vocal membranes are above the vocal cords, when the apes and other primates, except for humans, push air out of their lungs, both the vocal membranes and vocal cords start to vibrate. They make a very high pitched sound which comes out in screeching sounds.
What is your understanding based on whatever it is that you've read from this article about how important this step was for us in our evolution of language?
If we had the vocal membranes, then we would be sounding very shrill and very shrill all the time, and we would be high pitched and no one would like us and no one would like to talk with anyone, and it would be a very messy situation.
I can't imagine entering a school. Imagine 1,000 kids all yelling and screaming over each other in shrill voices.
How will you imagine even going to school with such high pitched voices where there are like 3,000 students? Yeah, but the teachers would also be sounding shrill.
So there were many steps involved in how we acquired speech, and the loss of the vocal membrane may have been one important revolutionary step, like how Devansh mentioned. Speaking of monkeys, I've got a very interesting joke for you. What do you call a monkey flying in the sky?
Efla monkey.
The answer is a hot air baboon. We've been talking about how we all acquired speech, but Devansh, coming to listening, do you enjoy listening to podcasts?
Yeah, especially on this channel because they are very funny and, as you said, witty. Because I like hearing other children speak about different topics. Yeah, and every Saturday and Friday I stay up in the night to watch like 5 episodes every day.
To listen to 5 episodes? Wow.
Yeah, I listen more than that. Like,
Oh, you listen to more than 5 episodes. Can you name two of your favorite episodes that you would recommend?
the first one was episode 53 that like a lot.
Episode 53 is the one where we discussed why the earth spun super fast and we had the shortest day
Yeah.
in 50 years. That is the episode with Vidyut, okay?
I really like the episode where Aniket spoke about case of sharks and a volcano.
Thank you. For those of our listeners who would like to listen to the curious case of sharks and volcanoes, that's episode 36. And the other episode 53 about the Earth, where Vidyut spoke about why the Earth very recently spun super fast and a day was lesser than 24 hours. The link to these two episodes, you can find them in the show notes below. And with that, we move to an interesting part of today's episode.
It's quiz time. Let's see how well you listen.
Question 1. What is the key difference between the structure of our vocal cords of humans versus the other primates?
Humans do not have vocal membranes. All the other primates have vocal membranes above their larynx.
Question 2. A cow is a primate. True or false?
False.
Question 3. Tell me whether I'm making a shrill sound like a monkey or a gorilla, or am I now speaking more like a human being?
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You're making a shrill sound like gorillas and apes.
And here's a very interesting riddle. The answer is the name of a type of an animal, and we'd like you to guess that.
I'm an ape-like monkey. I am huge with black fur. I have giant teeth. And I can be scary.
I'll give you a hint. There was also a famous movie called King Kong made with this creature as the protagonist. It was a real pleasure chatting with you on this show, Devansh. Did you enjoy this podcast recording?
Yeah, before when I was selected, I was very excited about the recording and
now, were you nervous?
no, I'm not nervous. Like
No, you're not.
I was, but I am not.
And that brings us to the end of this episode. Remember, podcasts are zero screen time and a super fun way to be entertained. And like Devansh, you too can sit and enjoy your weekends listening to 5 episodes every day.
Thanks for listening.